Congrats on the win. Can you walk us through your performance? How do you feel about it?
Dude, I felt great. I was faster. I was more clinical. My fight IQ was on point. I did everything I thought I was going to do except finish him. But he hits like a truck. He kept coming forward, and you could see the experience he's had in Muay Thai show off. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, this guy had a full camp, 25 days notice, back-to-back short notice fight against two of the best in this division, two of the most dangerous in this division. And I went out there and showed the world that I can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime, and I can look great doing it.
You said he hits like a truck. Were you surprised by his power?
No, we knew how strong he hit. He puts everything into his shots, and yeah, he just caught me very good at the end. And again, I mixed up my wrestling well to make him respect it and reset him. But I won the majority of the on the feet. Like, I beat him up for 4 rounds on the feet. I was smart. I kept him moving. I never let him get settled. And yeah, I did what I needed to get the job done. And I'm very proud of what I did. And fuck, I was fast.
What happened in that 5th round when he did?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at that. I have no idea. I think he caught me with something. I jumped on a leg and he defended well and we ended up in a scramble, but I have no idea. That's just...
Did you lose your bearings at that point?
No. I knew exactly where I was. I knew I was completely present. There was one thing going through my head. Do not stop. Keep moving. Keep going, because it's hard to hit someone who keeps moving and you have to readjust, just like on the feet. I say this to everyone when I tell them, when I teach at home and when I teach around the world to my friends. The second you stop, it only gets worse. And it's hard in that moment. It's hard in that moment to push through, and you've got a man on top of you who hits like a truck coming down on you. You just got to keep going and know that everything will figure itself out. But I dominated that man for 5 rounds, like. And he had a couple moments of success, but I would think he would, considering he's one of the dangerous men in the division.
Very confident this week heading into this fight. You had mentioned before the fight, actually, that you already had a trip booked to Montreal. Dana was just in here confirmed that you are officially the backup fighter. Was that part of the negotiation when the contract was presented to you, that he said, if you go out and get the win here, you'll be the backup?
100%. I told him, if I'm doing a back-to-back thing and saving your ass, you got to give me the reward. And I told you, I'm a glass half full. I didn't need that part, but I told him I want that. I want the reassurance that when I get this, I get what I deserve. I'm the official backup, and I'm next. Whoever wins that fight, if that fight goes ahead, that's my next opponent. You don't take back-to-back short notice fights, 21 days and 25 days notice against the most dangerous guys in the division, and not get rewarded for it. I am one of the best welterweights this world's ever seen. I'm 27 years of age, 9-1 in the UFC. This is my 10th fight. I'm on a roll, and I'm just going to get better and better and better. And if one of those guys slip up in 2 weeks, you best believe I'm going to be ready for everything. And that belt is coming back home to Ireland.
You talked a bit with Carlos after the fight. Can you just share what you guys were talking about?
I just told him that he is a monster. I said, Eli, você é monstro, mano. Você tem tudo. Você quer meu ajuda. Eu quero ver todo brasileiros vai em cima no rankings. I want to see all the Brazilians climb up the rankings. For me, I know he's in a rival gym, but when you share that octagon with me, you get my respect. And if that guy ever needs my help, I will be there to help him, because I want to see all of the Brazilians rise up. I told everyone this week, I am the best Brazilian welterweight on the planet. I am the best Brazilian. I am more Brazilian than him, whether he likes it or not. His country wanted me to win. I carry that Machado name with a lot of pride. And for me, this fight today meant so much more to my family in Shooter Box, right? But I am always there to help Brazilians reach the top, and I want to see them all succeed, because I know how hard they have to fight to get to where they are. So my job as a friend, as a family to all the Brazilians that I see, is to help them get there. And I have nothing but respect for people who step into the octagon with me.
Another contender in this division was in here earlier, Joaquin Buckley. There's some back and forth.
That man is an absolute pussy. I don't care for anything he has to say. Leave him to be him, and let's move on.
You are the backup. Can you just see, if you don't end up getting the spot and that fight does go through, how do you see that one playing out?
I do think Belal has the advantage. I think Jack hits hard. Jack is clean at some boxing. But I just feel like we've seen Jack get outclassed by people who aren't as good as what Belal does in the same style. And Belal is the very best at that pressure cooker style. He doesn't hit the hardest, but he does not stop coming forward, and he mixes in his wrestling and he makes it awkward. And I really do think that that's a stylistic stylistically terrible matchup for Jack. And I think we see Belal get the finish in the 4th or 5th round.
Do you have a preference out of Jack or Belal who you'd fight for the title?
Belal, nothing to do with style, but just to do with what he's done in the division. He is the champion. He has beaten former champions. He's on a however many fight win streak. I feel like Jack has not done the same workload, and I don't want any question marks on my career. I've told you this. So I want to beat the best guys in the world, and Jack is up there in that level. But I just think Belal has done more to warrant that status.
Very well said, but now you're at an interesting point, right, where you could get a title shot if something happens, something here. So do you have to sort of pull your own self back and not take short notice fights right now until you know how the division's playing out? Because you could slide into a title fight at some point.
Well, considering that Jack just got a title fight after a year off, you're fucking right. I could just sit out for a year and maybe I'll get a title shot. You know what I mean? I busted up Shavkat's knee. That guy can't fight for a year. Isn't that a coincidence? He fights me and he can't fight for a year. That's a bit wild. I do feel slightly disrespected about that. I know I lost. I know I didn't get my hand raised, but not even a call. That's why I made sure that if I take this fight and I'm saving your ass again, you give me what I deserve, and that's to be next in line. And if anyone has a problem with that, I ain't a stranger to say no. You know that. I'm not going to say no to a fight. So there's going to be a lot of people chomping at my name and talking about my name right now. I've told you this. There is not a bigger fight you can make in this division. Me against the champion, I have the most media talking about me. I bring the most attention to a card. You talk about the guys who are at the top of this division, there ain't many bigger than me. I show up, I save cards, I put on fights, and I do everything I possibly can to go out there and get the win. If for some reason one of these guys slip up, I am going to take that belt and get it wrapped around my waist.
And to go back to you being the backup, excuse me, Sean Brady had some comments about him being the #1 contender, that he believes that he essentially thinks it doesn't make sense that you would get the backup. Just curious what your thoughts are if you heard the comments that he made this week.
I don't go on my phone on fight week. I stay off it, but I know that he was complaining that I didn't get the title. He was moaning about me not getting it. So it's funny to see him in this position now where he's talking about that he's not getting it. Here's the truth. I show up on short notice. I helped the UFC save cards. I did it against Shavkat. I've done it now against Carlos. When you take big risks, you get big rewards. I'm next in line and he can take a fucking back seat and wait.
The comment that he made specifically was that your claim to fame is that you lost to Shavkat. Just to let you know what he said.
He got knocked out by the champion.
And out of curiosity, I know obviously you don't feel like it was a loss in the Shavkat fight, but how important is it for you to get that rematch one day? Is that something that's at the back of your mind at all?
You guys know I like plans, right? You guys know I have visions in my mind. Well, let me tell you what's next. I'm going to fight the winner. I believe it's Belal. And that's nothing against Jack. I just believe stylistically Belal has what it takes to get this fight done, and quite convincingly. So I'm going to fight Belal next. I'm going to beat Belal. Belal has said it many, many times. I am the toughest opponent in the division for him. Then when Belal doesn't have the belt, there's a certain pound-for-pound #1 who wants to come up. And his name is Islam Makhachev. And I have nothing but love and respect for that man and his style. And it would be an honor to share the octagon with him. I would love to go out there and prove against him in my first title defense that I'm the pound-for-pound #1. I beat him. I take that status. I win my first title defense. And then Shavkat gets the rematch. And I'm going to go out there and I am going to dismantle that man and prove that he never won that fight. And that's my next 3-fight plan. That's how I see it going, and I don't want that any other way.